Banana bone.
Yep, that is the first thing on the recording.
Nice. But yeah, beginning where we left off the last time, you guys had just inspected the camp, found some rather interesting things in that the camp had been entirely slaughtered. And you found a strip of blue cloth. As afterwards, Lavender took time to burn the bodies, giving them a decent funeral. And then the night rolled on with, I believe, pretty much every member of the party having Keep Watch cast on them. I think there were 2 people that didn't.
I think it was Sarab and Pescaria.
I think so. I remember I said I would keep them company for like an hour or 2 and then head to bed.
I believe it's also on Gothon as well, but you can correct me if I'm wrong in that.
Say that again.
Did Gothon have Keep Watch on himself as well?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 of us.
In that case, for the night, can all those who will be awake roll me perception if you keep watch? It's a ray.
It is.
Passive 29 and
Hey, I'm
active
sorry.
34.
I mean, just for shits and giggles, for the 2 hours that I'm actually awake.
I managed to beat Gothon! Because he rolled a 5.
And you rolled
11.
11.
I
Doubled
rolled
his roll.
high though.
If
I
you
rolled the
roll
same.
for
I rolled the same as Jamie.
If you roll for perception, can you still take a passive?
I don't think so.
Nope.
No, I didn't think so.
You should have just passive, Hobbit.
Probably.
Yeah, but where's the fun in that?
You might have got better.
That's like, yeah, I get 34 every time then.
Is Tobald staying awake?
If everybody else is, he's not missing out on a party.
We have
Yeah,
Keep Watch cast on us, so we don't need to sleep to get a long rest.
Do you have more Keep Watches, Gothon?
I
Can't you
only cast 3.
No, fuck
I'm
that.
pretty
If
sure
just-
you
if
can
you're
hit
just staying up
multiple
for-
people with Keep Watch, can't
If
you?
you're just staying up for sentry duty, you can fuck off. I'm going to
Okay.
Yeah, Lavender's going to sleep.
Noor is not staying.
Oh, it's one
I rolled
creature
for
touch
shits
per
and
2
giggles.
levels.
Pardon?
It's one creature touch per 2 levels.
Oh, so you literally could give all of us Keep Watch.
Yeah,
Well,
but
that means
sleeping
that never
is
sleeps
nice.
is back.
But sleeping is nice.
What is it? What level do you guys? 13?
12.
12? That's 8. Yeah, that's 4. You can... One cast of Keep Watch hits 4 people.
Please.
Whichever 3 if you want it then.
Well, so
Yeah,
add myself.
Yourself and one other lucky individual. Or no other lucky individuals if they
Yeah.
actually want to get some sleep.
Could you cast Keep Watch on somebody else to like troll them?
Yeah.
They're really tired and they want to
You
get.
can choose to fail it.
Okay.
They get a will save if they want to resist it.
They also can just go to sleep after having Keep Watch cast on them.
Yeah.
It doesn't force you awake.
I mean, I'm sure there
use
are
it as a
other people
watcher.
who are literally keeping watch.
It's like a really bad, really strong coffee. You're just like vibrating.
But yeah, you do notice that it seems to be a couple of the people from the Department of Pyrotechnic Displays seem to be taking guard duty, and throughout the night they swap over.
I will ask any of them if they want to keep watchcast on them as well.
So they all go, nah, I actually like to get some sleep, you know. Sleep's good. Save keep watch for going to Lastrus.
I'm going to be through the night doing very sort of practiced steps with keeping in touch with the whole, keeping well practice of dancing, but nothing too vigorous like the usual dances in towns, or just practicing steps and using that to sort of keep a 360-degree look around the area.
Fair. Just give me a perform dance then, you know. See if you
Attract some extra planar attention. Like that.
I was going to say that the dance is majestic, and you see it does actually captivate a couple of the sentries before they are very promptly smacked round the back of the head and told to get back to watch by their peers.
Muse's pearly whites are gleaming and grinning.
All in all, throughout the night, the moon rises in the sky. It seems to be tinted red rather than the white or grey that it normally is in other places. Throughout the night, you don't hear much apart from the blowing of the wind across the wasteland, and off in the distance you do make out it seems to be looks like something burrowing in and out of the ground, but it seems to keep its distance.
I'll make a check to identify it.
Yes. What knowledges do you have?
Oh.
What knowledge do you want?
It's a European badger.
I have knowledge all.
Do you have a rank and everything?
Yes.
Give me knowledge nature.
Yeah, it's one of my weaker ones. Still gets a 30.
Please tell me it's a European badger.
It's a wastelandy dire badger, but no, it's
Honey badger.
from
Well, where I come from, these big honey badgers look like European badgers.
from your books. You've not read that many books on the Badlands, but you're aware that the largest
Badger.
the largest creature which is known to burrow through the ground of the Badlands is the purple worm. You're too far away to tell whether it is that or not, but the trail it's leaving behind looks, pretty big.
Aren't there
Okay.
purple worms in Palsasan, in the Scorch? Is that a different type of beast?
That's a death worm.
That's the one, death worms.
So what? They're similar. The thing off in the distance seems to be keeping its watch, and throughout the night, the moon rises, hangs high in the sky, covering the ground with a red light, which almost seems to make the browny red sand glow almost bright red. Carries on, the moon sets, and then eventually the sun begins to rise on the dawn of a new day. It's about 7 a.m. when the rest of the
I'm
expedition
taking
starts.
time overnight to swap my spells over. I'm changing my preparations. I've already moved it over and roll 20.
What, you're swapping in and out, or?
I've changed a lot of my level 1 prepared spells because I've got options there.
Fair.
I'm also going to swap out Locate Object at level 2 for Bear's Endurance. But beyond that, I don't need to do any swaps.
Fair.
And I'm going to cast Endure Elements on myself.
So that's one of the swaps.
Yep.
I'll say it's only 7 a.m., but the heat has already started to, build up. It's now what a nice summer's day would be in the Empire, and it's 7 a.m.
Once all of the mages are sort of upped and starting to like pack up their shit, I'm going to very loudly go, "So, what is for breakfast then? You mages can conjure something up, no?"
You see a couple of them kind of look towards the more bookish looking people before one of them steps forward and with a wave of their hand summons a large long table of, it seems, just pretty normal food.
What's
Got
happening at the
some-
Hero's Feast?
I'm impressed. I was
Oh,
not expecting service so quickly. You should get a promotion. I'll put in a good word for you.
I'll say you can roll Arcana if you want.
Lavender appears out of nowhere and starts to devour most O food.
I'll join her, but
Sorry, did you say Arcana?
Yeah, go ahead. It seems similar to Hero's Feast, except it seems as though the food isn't as magical. It seems its purpose just is providing sustenance rather than anything else. It looks more like, a overly exaggerated good berry than more than anything else.
It's more normal people's feast.
Yeah, normal adventurous feast. You see a couple of the guys sit down and start to take some bread, smear a little bit of spread on it, and just start to chow down on it.
and also at the top of my lungs, I can. I would recommend that if you want a portion now, you get it now before Toby wakes up. He eats about 4 times as much as he actually is.
Hearing his name, Toby wakes up.
I'm taking my share to go.
It's not fucking McDonald's.
Fuck you, it is now.
No's gonna show up, stretching her a bit messy. Food. That smells good. Try and grab something before Toby and Lavender finish everything.
The locust swarm that is Toby.
I was gonna
Scorched
say,
earth.
what? Eat the food and burn the rest of it.
No, there's none left. What do you mean the rest of it? It's like you don't even know me.
Like a cartoon, just this little pint-sized thing picks up the entire table, just slides it all down
Have
into
you
his
forgotten that
gullet.
Lavender is doing the exact same thing?
God, tug of war, snap the table in half, and they all just bring it up like the Titanic.
Lavender is already looking at Toby and giving him a look like a dog gives another dog when they're trying to take their food.
I guess I'll just wave politely and
Continuing.
carry on eating.
Is there one of the mages that looks fairly new and wet behind the ears?
There are a couple who look fairly new. They seem to be running around with clipboards, and you can see they seem to be taking stock, taking inventory before they set out.
I wanna hail one of them over to me, sort of it's just come here, come closer, kind of thing.
Yes, what?
I lean in very close and just whisper, as wonderful as this food is, it doesn't quite give someone like me the correct sustenance, if you get what I mean. As I sort of the lip curls and one of the teeth are unsure.
You piece of shit, Sarab.
I don't suppose I could borrow some? You won't need it much. It's quite alright.
You can see he kind of just like locks up in shock and is like, I need to finish the manifesto. He says quickly, grabbing the clipboard and legging it in the other direction.
I just burst out laughing and just give a small giggle out loud. Ah, this is what'll get me through the Badlands.
It's about now that you notice Piscaria looking daggers at you.
Oh, you wouldn't have been able to hear that. I made it very, very quiet.
Oh,
You
it's
just
more
hear
just
me
the laughing.
Yeah, you can hear me obnoxiously laughing.
Right.
I'm just gonna shake my head.
Oh, so the rest of the expedition seem to make their way to the table, grab bread, spread, bit of like fairly morning food, and a couple of make open-faced sandwiches, and then just quickly chow down.
I need to check what spells my staff has.
It's basically just a big ass continental breakfast.
Basically, yeah. If you've ever seen like the continental breakfast bar at like fucking like a traveler's lodge or whatever.
Oh wait, are we talking about an American version or a British version?
Probably a British version.
God damn it.
What's an
Lavender's
American continental breakfast?
Biscuits, gravy, actual bacon, pancakes, waffles.
No.
That is not a continental breakfast.
Yes, it is.
You
That
do
is a-
realize that by
Oh my
continental
God.
they mean this continent. Right?
God
Minton.
truly
Wow.
has forsaken America.
Minton,
Yeah.
I am recasting Mage Armor.
I mean,
I will do that as we set off.
Arguably, what she said is a continental breakfast. It's just a different continent of continental breakfast.
Thank you. Yes, it is.
Technicalities, all in all.
I mean, I guess for the continent of North America.
Anyway,
So, quiet night, I take it?
oh, very much so. I think there was a bit of movement out in the desert sands, but I feel like that's to be expected. We are in the ocean of the sharks. Would be unusual if we were not to see such things.
As long as it stays away. There are some nasty things around here.
Oh, I know. We're in the company of some.
Huh.
Ooh.
And Lavender puts her food down and stares at Muse.
Though, I do have a question for you,
Yes.
Is the moon normally red here in the Badlands?
Is the moon normally red here in the Badlands?
Most of the time, there are sometimes when it's normal, but most of the time it is red.
It's
Pretty
scary when
often,
it's
yeah.
normal.
Pretty often, yeah. I was kind of shocked that it's not the case elsewhere when I left.
I do wonder what it is that makes it red, just in this region. Interesting phenomenon.
Probably something about the magic being screwed up here.
True. Well, at least I can share this story with others once I'm out of here. They'll never believe that the moon is always red.
Not always, just most of the time.
So we have blood moons occasionally, and you have normal moons occasionally.
I suppose so.
I'll be right back, guys.
It's around this point that you see the leader of the expedition come out of his tent and say, "Okay, time to continue on. Everybody, pack up." Just seems to give the order. You see there are people still at the table look mildly upset the fact that they're not allowed to finish their food.
You can pack it in bags. I'm sure it will be good for the road.
I'm gonna major armor. And who was it that suffered the most from the heat last night, last day?
Who was it?
Toby?
I think it was Toby.
Hello?
I will
Suffer from the heat.
cast Endure Elements on you. And
Oh,
I'll just
thank you.
have Breeze running around myself.
I should be fine though. Like I've got full desert gear and shit.
Actually,
Oh,
I'd probably be better with it. I've just realised it's got plus 13, I've got plus 5. I just got a
Take it.
lucky
I'm not
roll.
gonna say no.
Oh yeah, that's it. Toby has desert gear.
Yeah, but Toby had a rough
I
day
appreciate
the
it.
previous
It'll be
day
nice and comfy.
with the heat, so
I'm not gonna say no.
Yep, I'll move off the table and wait around once everyone's all packed up and away.
Fair. You see, people seem to be going quite slowly with packing up. Just their paths always seem to go past the food table before the expedition leader gets irritated, and with a click of his fingers, the table disappears, and all the food with it.
Fucking travesty.
"Come along, you can eat when we're at our destination," he says, quite impatiently.
Or I could eat now,
Sure.
fuckface.
eating is totally going to be the first thing we do when we reach our destination.
Vincent.
Yep.
How many people total is in this group?
Like
us plus how many?
Counting that we lost some already.
About 20.
That is 8 too many.
What were you gonna do?
Pass without trace.
Fairs.
Upcast it so it lasts 14 hours.
I have Pass Without Trace prepared as well.
I mean, to cast it, I have to use a charge from my staff, but it might be a good idea to make us untrackable, but up to you.
Can any of you all do such a thing too? So I address the other mages.
A couple of them sort of look at each other. Before one of them going, I can. You can see he's a fairly old-looking Oread, you think? Long, almost moss-like hair. And you can see he's wearing a set of dark brown robes.
So we have 3 people who can cast it, and about 20 of us. I do actually quite like the idea of not being traced anymore.
I mean, if other people can cast it with spell slots, it'll be appreciated for me not to have to.
We only have total of... How many people can we cover with the 3 people? And how long did it last?
Mine will last for 14 hours if I upcast it, and I can do it to 14 people, but it eats a charge from my staff, which is a pain in the neck to recharge out here.
It's only 1 charge though, isn't it?
It is.
Welcome back.
I'm back, sorry.
Welcome back.
I don't know how many Hobbit can cover.
Are you saying that in character that it's a pain for you?
To recharge the staff, yeah, out here.
Then I will tell you to think of the party and not just yourself. Anyway.
Ooh.
When I say it's a pain, it's a trade-off between being able to save us all by disintegrating something that's about to eat you, and not being able to because I've had to burn it recharging the staff.
We're traveling. It's only a few days. We'll probably be out here. I think you can cover it just this once. Also, we have a whole band of almost 20 mages strong. I think 1 disintegrate shouldn't do too much harm.
I'm actually lying and I only need to burn a 4th level spell slot, but oh well.
My point still stands.
What are my 4th level spells?
You don't
Eh.
necessarily need to recharge it while we're here. It can wait.
True, it just depends how long the expedition lasts. I can keep it up for 10 days.
That should be more than enough with the apparent teleportation capability.
How long does the other mages last, Minton?
As it's 1 per level, is that caster level?
Yes.
Then I can do 11 people for 11 hours.
Can do 12 people. No, not 12.
No,
Can
he's
do
got-
7. Your caster level is
one level of rogue.
Ranger -4.
No, -3.
Oh, yeah, -3 even. So where that be 8? My apologies. I think
8 people for 8 hours. I can do 14 people for 14 hours. What can the other mage do?
5 people for 5 hours.
Well,
As much as I'd like to spend...
Well, at least it will confuse the heck out of anyone trying to track us.
I feel like the most beneficial would be between Piscari's staff and Gorthon's on spell. It covers everyone, does it not?
Yeah.
indeed. You say you can do it to... Oh, Minton, do we have exactly 20?
20, not including you guys.
Ah, that's harder to do. Because there's 6 of us, plus 20.
Which means 4 will still be seen.
Unless the other mage decides to upkeep it on them.
How much do you need all your spell slots for the day? Asking the Oread. Do you think you're able to feasibly cast it twice throughout the day? Without draining yourself too much?
I suppose I might be able to, though. I only have 1 casting a bit prepared.
Prepared casters.
I hate fancy and magic.
Are you able to drain anything to give you a bit more oomph and cast it a second time?
It's not how fancy and casting works.
No, I don't know what kind of caster he is. He might have something.
He sort of chuckles and says, "I'd give anything for Mother Nature to give me the ability to do that."
Then I suppose 4 of us are going to appear somewhere in the desert in about 5 hours' time. It's better than nothing.
I don't know. I will be prioritizing our party as part of my 14, and if I can avoid giving it to the expedition leader, I will.
Everyone's getting covered.
Everyone's getting covered, but mine lasts the longest.
I would also appreciate that the smallest of you mages are the ones covered by the 5. Having anyone who might be tracking us underestimate us, seeing 5 sets of small footprints will give us a bit more of an edge.
So why is not Toby one of them?
Because he had part of ours.
Muse. You should know better than to estimate the strength of a group by the size of their footprints.
Oh, it wouldn't be for someone like me, because I was the one that came up with such a theory, so I would work out that someone was trying to ruse me. But most other hunters don't think that far ahead.
Not like rusing you is difficult.
I think I heard a voice. Toby, did you speak or something?
What? No, I didn't say
Yes,
anything.
please. Stop it.
Play nicely,
So-
children.
We have our plan, and do we have a direction?
Yes, we'll be teleporting to the base of Mount Cragtooth.
Isn't that
Or at
where
least-
we came from?
No. We came from Bao. We're going to Mount Cragtooth, the
Yeah,
south.
no, but yeah, the last session we teleported
Oh,
to
wait.
Mount Caractooth.
I
and
got the map
started wa-
entirely wrong. Yeah,
and
never
started
mind.
walking
I'm retarded.
west.
I completely forgot that. You fucking never mind. I am absolutely.
Please tell me that was all in character.
I was gonna say he kind of stops and is like, "No way, we just were at my crane." So he goes, "This is what happens when I travel with adventurers, getting my mind all."
Yes, of course, it is our fault if you don't remember what we did yesterday.
I think it might be the heat. Yeah, it can really get to some people who stay indoors more often.
I say nobody did cast into elements on him.
Mm-hmm.
He is
We have apparently 2 directions. We can continue going west as it seems, or we can go south where we can sort of estimate the tracks of the Empire went. What did you have in mind?
someone measuring their teleport distance.
No. I just needed to be sure, okay?
You can see he sort of pulls out some sort of oh, it seems like small glass device from his robes and points it in all the various directions until settling on the southwest, the direction the footprints were going.
Any idea
Aw.
what it is? That thing?
Roll me knowledge arcana. Ah, 36. You're pretty sure it's some kind of device that seems to emit more magic when it's
It's a
pointing.
compass.
Yeah, it's a magic compass. It's a magic compass.
I look at
Yeah.
where the sun is slowly rising. Like, why? But that's enough to find out your. Whatever. City people.
Hey,
You can see he sort of gives you a huffed up look and is like, yes, it might be enough to know that that way is east. But it doesn't tell us where what we're looking for is now, does it? See,
sure.
he looks quite insulted at someone insinuating his inability to know where east is.
What is. Is that thing capable of locating someone? I
I
thought
peek
it was
over his
just a
shoulder.
compass.
It locates spatial disturbances.
I peek over his shoulder, or like lean over his shoulder. I go,
Isn't that
Is-
everywhere in the Badlands?
"Is that thing pointing at you?"
No, it's not pointed at me, he says, just almost rubbing the bridge of his nose. It's pointing that way because that's where what we want is, he says, pointing in the direction he was looking at before.
I walk around him as I give again a very shit-eating grin and go, "But you just told me it points to spatial, what was it? Disturbances? Let's go then."
Can you roll me a perception? You just hear him mutter under his breath, I swear when I get back I'm making sure you never get a government contract again.
I don't work with the government, sweetie.
You're currently working with the government.
Working beside, not for. It's like how they hire criminals to make sure to find another criminal gets into their mind, you see.
Shall we go?
We should. Well, let's put our invisibility cloaks on and whatnot.
I am going to burn a point of my arcane reservoir to upcast and make my pass without trace 14 people for 14 hours.
Nice.
So 8 of the additionals can come over to me, but I'm prioritizing our party.
Fair. Eight of the additionals, not including the expedition leader.
Yep.
You can see
If
the
he tries
Orient.
to get it from me, I'll just accidentally pass over him.
The expedition leader doesn't seem to trust you in the slightest, so he goes straight to the Oriad.
That was actually going to be my diplomacy if he did try.
I mean, I'm the most powerful caster capable of throwing it, but okay. It's in this expedition anyway.
With everyone being passed without traced up, he looks up and goes, well, now that we've found out that this settlement is no more, we'll be heading to the southwest. Be teleporting there, just teleport a couple 100 miles in the direction, and then check the.
You can do that.
Yes, anyone can teleport in a direction.
This is player question.
You can.
You must have some clear idea of the location and layout of the destination.
It all does, but it all looks the same.
Yeah, let's teleport inside a dune.
You have to have at least seen it once. I don't have greater teleport.
Minton says it works.
So he is just saying you can teleport in a direction. I mean, the mishap ain't good. The mishap chance ain't good, but you can just But
Why are you all so averse to walking?
because walking takes time, and we don't have time considering the other two expeditions have been here at least a week. So we're going to take a risk. Everyone else here is fully aware of the risks, and so we'll be going in that direction. You can see he says, pointing in the direction while the rest of the expedition kind of looks nervously at each other.
Yes, let's risk teleporting towards a magical disturbance.
How many hundreds of miles?
Let's go with 250. Just to be on the safe side, he says.
You know what, Minton? Do I know anything in the Arcadian laws about reckless endangerment?
Roll me knowledge and ability.
Okay.
I'm just going to use an ability
32.
from anything government related or organization related.
32.
You're pretty sure there's something in there about the Arcadian Health and Safety Regulations Act.
You can look it up when we get home.
You're pretty sure there was something in there which was a superior cannot endanger his
Subordinates.
subordinates. That I was going to call them inferiors, but I'm like, no, wrong word, or right word, depending on if I'm role playing as the expedition leader or not. Subordinate.
Doesn't this course of action violate clause 835B of the Adventuring Safety Act?
Lavender
About reckless endangerment.
rolls her eyes behind.
Welcome to Arcadia. We play politics by throwing the book at each other.
We're not in Arcadia right now.
No, of course it doesn't. This is perfectly safe, and anyone who causes any harm is obviously due to their incapabilities, he says, rolling his eyes at you.
How's the rest of the group reacting to this?
The rest of them seem to, be, like, sort of looking between you and him, like, nervously.
Well then, if we're so certain it's safe... Damn it, I was going to say he can come with us. But I already can't teleport enough unless Toby gets in the bag.
Why do I always get in the fucking bag? I'm not.
Because otherwise you're
fucking
staying
dog.
here.
Get two people in the bag.
I mean, they could sweeten the pot and put a saucy tart in there.
Sorry, I had to rescue Becky from a kitten.
I mean, if Noah's up for joining Toby, he can come with us. If he's so certain it's safe.
I have many years under my belt, and I can have many years more, but for once this is actually driving my impatience. Can we let us teleport? Without falling behind.
I'm making the offer in character. He's welcome to come with our teleport if a couple of my friends are willing to sit in the bag of holding this time rather than just one.
Isn't he the one that teleports his group?
Is he Minton?
He is.
Oh, never mind. I thought that he got someone else to do it for him.
No,
There were
I'm
several
pretty-
groups.
Hey, he strikes me as the guy to delegate it.
And to show off.
Never mind then. Because I would have noticed him being the one that teleports this group, so yeah, never mind. So, which of you is getting in the bag?
Well, I guess I'll have a look at this extra-dimensional pocket.
Lavender looks at him like, go to hell.
Who's the expedition leader?
Big Pascal, when you heard him mention the
No!
bag.
Yeah, whoever offered for someone to go in the bag, Lavender just looked at them like, go to hell.
It's alright, I'll do it.
Hey, I have limits on who I can teleport. For one more level. So with no safely in the bag.
Yeah?
Minton?
Yep. Everyone in the gets together into various different groups. Most of them look mildly nervous. Though the expedition leader seems quite calm. But
Because if you get us killed, I will seek my vengeance from anywhere beyond the grave. Let that be your warning. And I take a lean back.
I was going to say the expedition leader looks over all the groups and says, once again, 250 miles in that direction. And with a motion, him and his group vanish with a bang.
We'll go next. D100?
Yep.
I forgot to put a space. We are perfectly fine.
That is a nice roll.
The one time I wanted to roll low. Minton?
I think he's rolling for the other
Sorry,
groups.
I am just, yep.
Once we teleport through, I'll over the bag go. We're here.
It's kind of boring in there. Give me
You
a
weren't in
handout.
there before.
That sounds like mishaps.
Are we the only ones to make it?
By accident.
Mintonus?
Yep.
Are we the only ones that made it?
I mean, whenever you blink back into existence, you do spot. Actually, can I have a perception check?
Oh, shit. From everyone?
From everyone?
Yeah.
I never logged into Roll20. Hey, I'm trying to multitask here. Just loaded half my belongings into my car, so just chill.
Someone might want to roll for Muse as I believe on Bri. Be right back.
Hi, kitty. Cute
I
kitty.
think I hear him.
He's a cute kitty.
But fuck it, I have access to music sheet anyway.
Mm. Why do you still have access to my sheet?
Fuck you, that's why.
Because someone didn't take it away from him.
Would you like me to revoke that access?
Please.
Nope, we're good.
Edit can be controlled by no.
Monkey has to save his fiance from a cat. I need saving from a cat, and there's no one to save me. Hello, kitty.
This is why cats are bad.
He's not
True.
bad. Actually, I don't want to be saved because he's purring and being cute. Oh,
I
sweet
think the
kitty.
cat needs saving from you.
Possibly. But he wants attention. Ah, no, he's tangled in my cord. Ah, hello, cat. Bye, kitty.
Anyway, mention you have the perception rolls.
Thank you. What do we get? 36.
36 from Gawthorne, 25 from me and Toby, so I've got a 33, and
Nor doesn't know. Nor doesn't see. Nor's
Nor-
coming out of the bag, okay? She's busy.
You saw just as much as Sorul did, don't worry.
Sorry about that. One of my course mates is also messaging me asking about coursework. But what do we have? We got a 33. Sarab. Looking over towards the east, you do see a group of people who seem to be it looks as though some of them have fallen over, some of them are like on their hands and knees, and one of them just seems to be standing there. Looks like he's yelling at the ones on the ground.
well, the expedition leader made it.
How far away do they look like?
They look maybe a couple of miles.
Okay. Bit longer than 100 feet, then.
What is the
And
range
Gawthorne,
of Dimension Dorian? Not that big.
a few hundred feet.
Yeah.
What does Gawthorne see with a 36?
Gawthorne has
Or
a
higher
PM.
if any of them are human. Hobbit.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have a PM.
I know, I'm reading.
He's a slow reader. Give him a second.
Any of the other groups make it?
From what you can see, no.
I will point out to the south. There are some tents on the horizon with a bit of smoke. The tents are blue and white striped from what I can see from here. If you know where they're from, or where blue and white tents would represent.
No.
Would
I?
I from any of the regions?
People can give me a knowledge and ability if they want.
Lavender's gonna start making her way over there in a rather quick fashion to the direction he pointed.
Lavender, wait.
I
She
mean, that
stops
it's like
grudgingly.
2 miles away, that one as well.
We should reconvene with the others first.
Indeed.
Lavender growls.
We are here to protect them, technically.
We don't do our job, we don't get paid.
Lavender points over to the smoke.
We'll get there. We each
Far
check
enough
on the
away that
others first.
even if we started running, if that's a fight, we won't get there before it's done.
How
is also-
many people did we set off with at first? Before we lost the first group in the first teleport?
About 25, I
25.
imagine.
And how many people are there in the group the only group that made it?
5.
That was 25 counting us.
No.
Or without. Okay,
25
so,
not counting you.
okay, so he lost 20 people already.
How loud do you think a dragon's roar would carry? How many miles?
I'm not sure we want to alert whatever that camp is. Vincent,
Depends
did we
on
get
the roll.
anything from?
Hmm?
Did we get anything from our knowledge and abilities?
You know, a couple of places which use blue and white. There's one house in the Empire which does, though it's a fairly small house rather than like a large actual military force. The Scovan, there's a place in Scova, one of the city states that uses it. There's like a clan on Skarg which uses it, but
So this is probably the Scovans. Though if it is the Empire, I'd like to pay them a visit and kill them all.
When you say it's one of the smaller houses of the Empire, from which city would I recall, or do I not know?
you'd not recall that role. All you'd remember is there are people in the Empire that wear blue and white.
Right, fair enough.
Can we have this conversation while heading towards the others?
I imagine we were.
Yeah, assumed.
In quite
Okay.
hasty motion.
Fair. It'll take you guys maybe 10 minutes to reach them if you're being hasty.
Yeah.
And I'd also like to point out that these tents were... Actually, was the last place that we stayed at camp, was that tents as well?
It was more like fur huts, but yeah, or like hide huts.
You
What's the name of them? Yurts. Yurts are their name.
You see, the last place that we found was more yurts and more made of hide and whatnot. That is tents made of vibrant colors. I do not think that smoke is really of it being burned and raised. I think that is smoke of a campfire or a bonfire.
Even more reason to stay away.
No, we could play them at our own game, but I still think we should have our wits about us when we actually do go along. I don't think we should avoid them, though.
Vincent, can you move the flag for roughly where we are?
Yes, my apologies.
Time skip to us finding them? Or to us slinking up again?
Yep. You all, start making your way, there. Get about, 10 minutes in, and can I have a perception check?
What?
I'm
Do
rolling.
I even bother trying?
32.
Nope.
Don't worry, this is how I was in the last campaign.
Glorious Kraug.
Didn't Crowd have like -1 to wisdom?
No, he didn't have any negative stats.
Which is a dump stat.
I have a +2.
As opposed to Gorthon's, +24.
Oh, damn.
Like, even if I net 20 and he nats ones. He does better than me. Why do I even
So-
bother rolling?
So what do Gorthon and I see?
Pescara and Gorthon, you guys notice a dot from the sky going quite rapidly down towards where the expedition leaders group is.
Can I identify?
With that 32, no.
Fuck.
Do I with a 36?
With a 36, you kind of get a glimpse of it. Can I have a knowledge and
Knowledge nature? What's
Yep.
that? Oh god.
Looks like maybe. I mean, it's hard to tell from this distance. You think you see wings. Might be a bird. I don't know. It's still, you're like a mile away, and you're just spotting, this thing. You do see
Bird,
a
plane,
fairly
dragon.
large cloud
The
of
microphone's
dust
going there too.
rise up from where the rest of them are.
Well, time to fucking book it, guys.
How far away are we at the moment?
You're about a mile away.
Guess we just go into full sprint.
Yep.
How many people can I take?
Not
Does it-
enough.
Does it look like they've seen it?
From what you can see by the now reasonably large cloud of dust, they might not have seen it before, but now that there's a giant cloud of dust, they've probably seen it.
Nor, I need you to tell me right now, describe as best as you can what is the apex predator in this land. What does it sound like?
Minton?
A purple worm screech, a dragon's roar. A red dragon, a black dragon.
Let's
Would
go
I
find
be-
the dragon.
Would I be able to replicate as best I can with ghost sound the roar of a dragon?
Can ghost sound go that loud?
I believe it can. Maximum 40 humans. A roaring dragon is equal to the noise of 32 humans.
Roll me a knowledge nature to see how well you can, you remember a dragon's roar sounding.
I'm not going to be able to pageant the peacock this one, am I?
You bluff it, it sounds more like a chicken.
I mean, you can bluff it, but it might have horrible, horrible consequences. Or amazing consequences, you never
You know
know.
what?
It's a mating call.
You know what? I take the risk. I'm pageant peacocking it. Abort. I rolled a 6. This is not good.
Minton, give us a distance in feet.
Like 4,000 feet,
Still too far.
which is half a mile. Well, no, 3/4 of a mile even.
Still too far.
You let out a roar which sounds, somewhat like a cross between like a lion and a lion, basically any animal you've heard before which roars. That happens.
Bastardization of all of them.
Yeah, basically a bastardization of every animal you've heard to try and create something. And then, about maybe 5 seconds later, you hear
It's a
something.
fucking dragon.
You hear something which sounds a lot more like the real one.
Ah, well, now I know. Coming from the thing up in the sky.
And
Do I recognize it?
I mean, yeah. Wouldn't anybody recognize the noise of a freaking dragon?
you'd recognize it, yeah. I'll say, can I have, do you have any knowledge, Isma?
Arcana
Can I roll into?
and planes.
Yeah, roll me knowledge nature.
Sure. Could possibly go wrong. 23 is one of my worst knowledges.
It sounds definitely like a dragon roar, but it sounds less feral than
Ooh.
some other dragons' roars.
As we're sprinting at full tilt towards this, I'm going to gesture for all of us to spread the fuck out.
Lavender does so.
At this point, have just a map of the desert so that you guys can drag yourselves on and spread yourselves out however you want.
I'm gonna be casting elemental body to get the flying speed, which is faster than my walking speed.
How far away from combat do we look, Minton?
At this point, you're about half a mile. Though you can see at this point the dragon.
Give us a time. Like number of rounds.
Couple of minutes.
Okay, casting shield.
Yeah.
Buffs are going on. Buffs are going on.
At this point, you can notice this thing is taken off from the ground and has flown back up into the sky.
Question to Golthorn and Toby have belts of dexterity already, right?
I think I have a belt of strength.
I do have about a dex.
Oh no, yeah, belt of dex.
+4 on both you guys.
+4 on me for sure.
I don't think mine's that high. I think mine's only a +2.
Make it a +4. I'll cast Cat's Grace on you. So just pretend for the time being for the next 9 minutes.
How's everyone's
Getting-
reflex saves?
Fairly good.
11.
Does anyone have less than +10 to reflex?
Let me check. Reflex? Oh, God. Ugh.
On 21.
Reflex.
Defense is ref.
I have a +18.
Reflex, I have 9.
Okay, I'm casting resistance on Lavender. It's an additional +1 resistance bonus. All saves.
Do I need to? Okay.
It's a
that to her.
cantrip, so I'm then going to do it to myself.
Fair.
I am buffing up. Does anybody want a bear's endurance?
I'll take it if no one else would want it.
Can I have a
It's
perception for
going.
everyone at this point? After
I mean,
after
at
the
this
resistance.
point, I'm probably ahead, given that I'm flying. So
Because of perception, right?
I'm raging, so they.
Best wait until we actually get within range, because I think your
Well,
rage rounds goes down like per
it-
round.
How far
Well,
do we